Hi there, and welcome to this week's live session where I'm going to talk about the body, energy, and sleep, and how all of these are interconnected, and how we want to take care that we serve and treat our bodies right so that they can treat us right. Because quite frequently we don't have the energy levels at daytime that we would like to have, or at least that can happen if we don't treat our bodies right. And today we're going to have a chat at the body over the body. So if you can see and hear me, just maybe hit the like button because I can't see that on my own. That will really be helpful to get things starting. So if you can see this video and if you can hear my voice, essentially hit the like button. That I know that I can kind of move on. And if you've got a question about the body in relationship to your energy levels at the moment, because we want to get and talk about how to get into these high energy levels, or in regards to your sleep, because that's what I'm here for. I'm a sleep and energy coach. Just drop them into the comments and I'm gonna be happy to kind of talk about those. But just to get things started, let's talk about how we can take care that we get into high energy at daytime and prepare for good resting sleep. I want to show you this little graphic. It's not super professional, but I drew it for you, and I like it more than I've got a more sophisticated version here that looks like this, but we're going to move on with this one. So essentially, to have high energy levels, we need to get a deep resting sleep. And quite frequently when I talk about clients, it's always about the evening, the nighttime, and that's too late. So when we're talking about sleep and energy levels at daytime, we're talking about essentially two sleep signals, right? There's one sleep signal down here, this one, and that's one that we're going to set in the morning. So when we get up, we actually set our first sleep signal. And then in the evening, of course, we've got the second sleep signal, which is the sleep signal that lets us fall asleep eventually, but we have to get both right. So let's talk about the morning first, because I think that's super interesting. What's kind of a lifestyle thing is that we all have to, or most of us have to use an alarm clock. And alarm clocks, we set them to a certain time and they rip us out of sleep. So what I would suggest to you is that you simply use an alarm clock that's hooked up more to our biorhythm, more to our sleep stages, so to say. So our sleep is essentially built up out of different sleep stages, and there are light sleep stages and deep sleep stages. And if our alarm clock fires off an alarm in a deep sleep stage, it's going to rip us out of the deep sleep and our day is going to start on the left foot. So using a light-based alarm clock can help to prevent that. Light-based alarm clocks raise the light, and at some point in the light sleep stage, we will wake up on our own. We're just going to feel much better. And the second thing that you can use actually is a fitness tracker. They've got the capability to see if you're moving slightly, and then they know you're in a light sleep stage, and they can also wake you up through a little vibration. That's what I'm using at the moment, and I have super good experience with the light-based alarm clocks too. So when that happened, so we're waking us up body friendly, using our bodies, not kind of a hardcore method to wake us up. We're going to feel better, and we want to get out of bed right away. Avoid using the snooze button. It's just not good. It's torture. We want to get up right away, and then we want to get our bodies moving, set that sleep signal. So we want to hydrate, drink a glass of water, and hi there, want to drink a glass of water, and we also want to see that we get our bodies into slight motion. That's giving our bodies a clear signal that the day is starting. And this is so important, right? As soon as you give your body a clear signal that the day is starting, it's going to energize you. So you want to get your body into slight motion, you want to hydrate. At some point, you also want to have breakfast, obviously. And another thing that you can do for your body to just kickstart your day is to have a cold shower, actually. So when Wim Hof got me inspired to do this, I did it probably over 150 times this year by now. And having a cold shower is not a super pleasant experience, but it definitely kickstarts your day. And that way you can even skip your first coffee, which is going to be a good thing too. So if we're talking about our sleep and our body and we want to keep those high energy levels or even boost them, then we're also talking about things like avoiding drinking too much coffee, obviously, because our bodies don't really like it. They like it to a certain degree, but too much is too much. And we want to keep our bodies in movement. So somewhere over the course of the day, you should see that you have a walk. If you're sitting a lot, like I am, I tend to get up every hour, whatever, and move my body a little bit. And you also want to get into sports, because sports, and when I say sports, pick something that relates to you. It should be fun. There's give me a like if you want to have fun doing your sports, right? We all should pick something that is pleasant for us. It's so important. Our bodies are just hardwired genetically to move, and we don't get that movement quite frequently. We're just hanging around, sitting on our sofas or chairs, and it's just not good. And then we decide to do sports and pick something that is just too hard, that we don't like, don't enjoy. And that's a major mistake. So it's good to have sports or body movement every single day. And even better, if you pick something that really relates to you. So, instead of having a run, if you don't like running, if you're more the group person, like, I personally am, play football. So you're running in a group now, chasing one ball. That's a different experience than having a run in the walk. And if you're rather, somebody who loves to take time out for him or herself, then maybe that run is exactly right for you. Maybe you just want to have a walk. Maybe you want to play, table tennis, whatever. There are so many options out there. Do yoga. So many options out there that can really serve you well. Okay, but now let's have a look at the second sleep signal, because essentially what we're doing here is talking about our sleep. We want to have a deep resting sleep as a foundation for those high energy levels. And when it comes to sleep in the evening, there are a couple of things that we can do for our bodies. There are a lot of things, and we really want to be playful and creative here. So one thing that you can do is to have your last meal 4 hours before you go to bed. That's nothing to do with nutrition. What you could think, there are 3 topics that we can work out when it comes to our sleep and energy. It's the body, nutrition, and mind. But having the last meal, the time when we have our last meal, is actually a body part. Our body is built to digest food at daytime, and at nighttime it's there to recreate the cells and do other things for us, So we want to have our last meal 4 hours before we go to bed and give our body the opportunity to digest that food to a certain degree. And after that, we're going to have a sleep. Keeping these rules is kind of setting our bodies up for a clear sleep signal at nighttime when you hit the bed. Then 2 hours before it's bedtime, you want to avoid lying in the sun. Typically, usually the sun should be going down anyway, but you want to get into a more dimmed environment. And 1 hour before sleep, you really want to get that. So there are blue light reduced bulbs that you can use at nighttime. As an example, today you get them because our eyes have receptors in them and they pick up on light, right? So as long as light hits our eyes, they're going to transport that information to a thing called the SCN, and our brains just think it's still daytime and they won't let us fall asleep. And not falling asleep at time is going to ripple on to the effect that our alarm clock's going to wake us up with us not getting enough sleep. So we want to really take care of that. If you have problems winding down, there are a couple of things that you can do good for your body too. You can just kind of have a hot bath. It's a relaxing experience. And after a hot bath, typically our body temperature drops a bit, and that's good to promote sleep. You can do stretching, yoga, something like that. Thanks. stretching, yoga, something like that. That's going to help to get into a relaxed state at nighttime. If you have pain, like I was suffering from hardcore pain years ago, you want to do something against that. And there are different things. There are different cushions that you can take, when it comes to pain in your neck or pain in your back. I'm using a cushion that I can put between my knees. So there are different cushions. You can check your mattress. High quality mattress that is right for your weight can take pressure from certain places of your body, which is going to help you to release pain. And what helped me was to meditate. So there are special meditations that lead you into the pain, which is completely counterintuitive, right? But really accepting the pain and moving into the pain was a big relief for me. It let me fall asleep at times where I had really, really hard times to fall asleep. So there are a lot of options that we can do for our bodies to let us sleep better. And good resting sleep is the foundation for feeling high energy levels at daytime, feeling happy, feeling, good, anything else. So if you have a question in regards to your body right now, you can drop that into the comments and I'll try to pick up on that. Otherwise, I would typically close the session after 10 minutes, which we've reached here right now. So I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds. If you drop any kind of a comment, I can happily look at that and try to kind of give you a little tip to move on. Otherwise, I'm really happy that you joined today. Wishing you a lovely Sunday and, of course, a superb sleep. See you next week. Bye.